Aw, kitties. No, go back to being cute. Aw, kitties. How cute. Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Digital Quill Podcast with your host, Mars Wilson. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. I hope you are drinking water and staying safe, and I hope that you are taking time to process what you need to process and be present when you need to be present. Today's episode is... I feel like it's a special episode, and I don't really know why. This feels special. And I'm not saying that it's special because it's 69, and the reverse of 69 is just 69, because, if you look at 9 upside down, it's like a 6. Anyway, there's jokes here. I'm going to try to keep this clean. Before we hop into today's subjects, which I come bearing gifts, notes, and a blue tongue. How are you today? Take a moment to answer us in the comments below, and it doesn't matter if you're having a good day, a bad day, a sad day, a hard day, whether you're celebrating or mourning. Answer us in the comments below. How are you? Let's take a moment to be with you. I would say that September is, in my personal opinion, better for me than it was, or than August was. However, September has still had trouble. September has still had storms. And it amuses me that I say that because today I woke up like any other day and I looked outside and I'm like, it's weirdly humid. And I got up around 4:30, started waking up, and then around 5:30 I was like, okay, maybe I can sleep for like another hour or two, and then I just couldn't get back to bed. It was another one of those moments where I've been having a hard time sleeping. It's there are like several stages I've probably explained about my like insomnia and stuff like that. And sleep has always been a strange battle for me. But we're not here to talk about that. Nah. The weather. Now, I love clouds. I love humidity. I love clouds. I love warm weather when it's cloudy and humid. I don't like the desert. I hate the dryness. My skin is suffering from the dryness. No amount of moisturizer will help. Not even olive oil or coconut oil will help. I just need to move. It's as simple as that. The city air also can't be doing too many good things. Let's see. I would say I definitely prefer September's weather over August's. August was really dry, I think. Like, we had some rain here and there, but not like this. Not like random rain throughout the day and clouds. And it's rained a little bit off and on. Like, if I go out to my room and like look out the window, I will probably see some storm clouds. It's exciting. There's nothing I love more than the sound of rain hitting like other water or like tin or like metal. It's therapeutic, even with the sounds of traffic. So I do have a bit of a show and tell. And that's actually the premise for today's episode, is we're going to talk a little bit about mental health and music and psychology and quotations and my own thought processing on how I relate to these things, and I implore you to please share your own experiences. If you've heard the songs that I'm talking about today, or they have some sort of special meaning to you, go ahead and comment and share with us in the comments what they are. Or get in touch with me. There are many ways to do so. I am going to switch gears here and show you the playlist that I'm going to link in the I'm going to link in the description below on the description of the video episode, which, another side note, if you are new here and this is your first time tuning in and you do not see a description in the video below, that's probably because you're on the RSS feed or a different video option for this podcast. Spotify, Substack, and one of like the two things for YouTube have it, and I'm working on trying to figure out how all of this works to like hopefully eventually make this system better. It's definitely not without technical difficulties in the early stages of building this. There's like cat hair floating around and my nose is really tickly, so I'm sorry if I keep scratching it. Here we go. Today's list, 9/18/25. I'm pretty sure today's the 18th. So, first off, I can't really play the songs here because YouTube and other places will not like that, which I want to figure out a way that I can still do that without getting copyright strikes, because eventually I'd like to hopefully try to potentially monetize this. I have plans for how I would use the monetization funds of things. So many plans. And actually, if you go to my Twitter X, you might see some of those plans. Those haven't changed, and they never will. I say never, and I hate absolutes, but there are some absolutes that I will stick to, and that's probably one of them, most certainly. Tired of Healing by Noah Henderson. Now, I wrote a note here, and it says, I try to sometimes pay attention to the way people write things or the way people word things. So, I'm not always, I'm pretty sure in the back of my mind, my brain is picking up on it in some way or another. But, when I try to think of it, so if you look at Tired of Healing, right, there's no capitalization on tired. And there is a punctuation mark at the end of healing. It's almost like intentional. There are some artists who don't do it intentionally and they're just lazy about it, but I have a special feeling that it isn't actually laziness, and I actually feel like it's a lot less common for artists or the like to do such things, because there's a reason for that. Think of how language works. When you're reading a book, and God, I would love to give the human credit who explained this. I read it somewhere, I heard it somewhere, but writing a book is a lot. Oh, I know who wrote that. It was Orson, Scott Card, or Scott, what's the name? The one who wrote Ender's Game. I believe I was reading the introduction to Ender's Game, and actually, writing a book, you are actually crafting the story. So, the author gives you the bones, right? The structure, the story. And, it's kind of like a self-guided tour in a way. But, when you're reading, assuming you don't have aphantasia, and you can picture things in your mind, but even then, I feel like we are crafting the story along with the author while we read. Same can be said with music. That's why we have different perspectives. Even though the author, the writer, the creator had an intention behind the language used, the punctuation, the accent, the dialect, even so much as what they say between the lines that they don't tell you in the lines themselves. And I also say that from experience as someone who writes. Most of the time, if it is an instinct at this point in my life, I am intentional. It's actually one of the reasons why, as much as I like using like Pro Writing Tool or like Grammarly or other stuff for like grammar and like spelling and things like that, like I usually mostly use it for spelling. Or like changing parts of speech to like kind of better flow with something. But like, I don't like when I'm doing a more creative piece, less formal piece, or even like just using my own voice, and it's like, you put a comma in the incorrect spot, and I'm like, I know. I didn't learn English a long time ago, and I am not going to continue to learn it without bending the rules to my own liking, because as any writer or creative or person or human knows, it's all arbitrary. It doesn't matter. The intention matters, whether or not you have good intentions or bad, but like the way you speak, it does matter. It does. It does have context. It does matter, but like at the same time, you can course correct. It's not like what you say out loud is set in stone. If someone doesn't understand you, you have the opportunity then to try to be understood. But then there also comes the idea that sometimes we're just not going to understand. And sometimes that's okay. We can move on to things that we are going to understand. Now, there are some lines in Tired of Healing. And actually, I wish I could play the song. I really do. Because the thing with Tired of Healing by Noah is it is very repetitive, and it's a very short song. I can't remember how often I Won't Fight It, I'm Just Tired of Healing is played, but that song, as sad as it is, does kind of have like a purpose and meaning to me, because like, I won't fight it either. I won't fight healing. I won't fight what I need to do to be a better me, to help other people. I won't fight it. I'm going to do it, but like, sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes the load of healing is a lot, and I think it's okay to rest. I know we've talked about that in prior episodes. I think it's okay to rest. I think it's okay to take a break, to take a pause, to take a beat, but like, if you don't acknowledge that you're tired, won't you just drown? And we can't have that now. Leave no man or woman or child or person behind. The second song. Better Off Broken by Citizen Soldier. Now, if you're not familiar with Citizen Soldier's work, I am more than impressed with their music. Now, let's see if I can actually pull up their bio for you, because I'm also curious what their bio actually says. Oh, wow. Okay. Sure. Nice. That's actually such a dope story. Okay, check this out. I'm going to share this with you. This is Citizen Soldier, the rock band, the song that I'm going to talk about here in just a moment. This is the overview. Citizen Soldier is an American rock band from Salt Lake City, Utah. They were formed in a psychiatric hospital in 2016 when frontman Jake Segura wrote the lyrics for Let It Burn. Now, frontman Jake Segura, I believe I said that name correctly. My apologies if I butchered that. There is their... Wow, that's incredible. Okay, check it out. So this is their website, and I will actually link it in the description as well. Fight the Good Fight. Citizen Soldier was born in 2016 when frontman Jake Segura penned the lyrics to Let It Burn from a psychiatric hospital. Now practicing as a clinical therapist, he implements intensely emotional lyrical themes on mental health into their music. The band presents an accessible message that combats stigmatization and provides a group therapy dynamic. Now, if therapy is hard for you to access at the moment, I just want to take a moment to tell you that Citizen Soldier, I think music is very healing. There is a form of music therapy out there, and I think that there are a lot of forms of therapy that do not need necessarily a medical license or practitioner. There are some people I want to have on that might have more on this subject in the future. But, Citizen Soldier is a good band if you need support, if you need therapy of some sorts. Listen to their entire discography. I'm not joking you. You're probably gonna cry. There are points you're gonna laugh. You're probably gonna cry a lot. It's gonna hurt in some areas, and if you need to take a break, do reach out to a friend, reach out to my email. But this is going to go into a dark place, and then we're going to change it. If you need a friend, and this is actually a warning in a way, if you need a friend and you email me, don't do anything drastic until you get a response back. I'm always checking my emails, and I will respond, especially if it's an emergency. Put that in the subject. Everybody needs somebody at the end of the day. Some know that more than others. And actually, I'm almost thinking of creating a group dynamic at some point for the Dear Mars email where other people have access to it who are on like a similar mission of like wanting to bring people together and heal and grow and love. So if you are interested in being a supporter for other people, we might need to talk about some stuff. But yes, listen to Citizen Soldier. And if you need help, reach out. I will leave my email again below. Let's see. There is a line in Better Off Broken. It asks, why is healing so hard? Healing is hard. And that's actually kind of where I want to coach all of us on a moment. So let's take a second to reframe healing being hard. Because it is. Alright, we know that. We've healed from something before. We have grown from something before, and that's the key word right there. Instead of saying, why is healing so hard? Because we're not going to find an easy answer. Let's reframe that into saying, these are growing pains. Because if you think back to when you were growing up, now, the very first growing pain that we ever get, besides when we start developing our knees and our limbs, when we start crawling and then walking, most of us aren't going to remember that. But we remember that first toothache, don't we? When we had to get our tooth pulled by the tooth fairy or something like that. Growing pains are hard. And I think when you think about how a scar or a cut heals, sometimes it gets itchy, right? When you cut your arm or your hand and it starts to scab over, and a few days later it starts itching and you want to pick at it, don't do that. But you want to pick at it because it's itchy. Yeah, that's healing. That is the scar tissue healing. There's a more scientificness to that, but that is the simple way of talking about it. And I'm trying not to dive too much into scientifics and specifics because sometimes it's even over my own head, especially at 9:19 in the morning. When I swallow my scars, then I don't have to feel it all again. That is another line in Citizen Soldiers, Am I Better Off Broken? And yeah, I resonate with that. Sometimes I wonder myself, why is healing so hard? Why do I have to keep going through this? Because I'm tired of it, right? And then I remember distinctly when I would swallow my scars, when I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, this is nothing. But that does more harm in the long run. Sure, I if I swallow the pain and the scars and the memories and the tears, like, I don't have to feel it in the moment, and it goes away. And I don't have to feel it all again, right? But you will, later on, probably in a worse way. Don't swallow your scars, because that's like swallowing swords. Don't swallow your scars. There are only a few people in the world who can swallow swords successfully. You have to be successful at it. There are only a few people in the world who can swallow swords successfully. Do not swallow your scars. It's like swallowing swords. Next song. And I promise this one is a lot lighter, because I don't know what you know about Imagine Dragons. I don't know what I know about Imagine Dragons. But Imagine Dragons is actually one of my, like, cozy favorite bands in a way. Because Imagine and dragons, those are two things I like. My class ring has a dragon on it and it says dreams. Well, magic and dragons and dreams and imagine, like, I do live in my head sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I appear to be very grounded and very present, I'm not. I love the clouds. Are you kidding me? I built a beanstalk a long time ago and climbed that sucker, and I am loving it up here sometimes. I climb down, you know. There's an elevator over there if I need to come down faster, but sometimes I like to take my sweet leisurely time. I'm a writer. I create stories in my brain all the time. It's a sickness. I'm half certain it's a mental illness, but hey, whatever. Or it's just the tism. Whatever it takes. I love that song. Damn, I love that song. So, it's actually in my Mars's Handmade Life album. And, I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. On the other day on my Facebook, I posted, when I'm super stressed out, I like watching roller coaster point of views. They're really cool, okay? And I finally got to go on a couple in my later adult years. It had taken too long for this adrenaline junkie to end up on a roller coaster. And let me tell you something. Of course I felt the fear as I'm walking up to the dang ride. Of course I'm like, oh my god, this is it. This could be the time. This could be it. I could perish. Gasp. But nope. That's like the beautiful part, I feel like, about adrenaline, being an adrenaline junkie. There are some people who are far more serious about it than I am. Like, there are some people who are right now waking the heck up, strapping on their boots, and going to find and chase their next adventure. I kind of wish I could do that. They are very privileged in my mind. But that's also neither here nor there. I am an adrenaline junkie for the very... excuse me. I am an adrenaline junkie for the very fact that I survived the absolute hell out of trauma. And I discovered that I was an adrenaline junkie early on in my life. Very early on, actually. Especially when I would test my limits and my boundaries. So much to unpack there. But, if you survive a roller coaster, if you survive those speeds and that gravity push and pull and that force, the G-forces, that's incredible. I mean, not only is the machinery exemplary of, like, what humans are capable of, but, like, humans aren't supposed to be able to be whipped around like that. I don't know. It's whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, because I love the way that it feels when I break the chains. I will do whatever it takes, because, like, I didn't write this line down, but in Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons. Okay, whatever. Nope. Going back to that. In Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons, they also say that everyone's praying for the fall of time, or fall of man. And, I'm not. I'm not. I like humans, even if some of you do some pretty interesting things. I love humans. I even hate you just as much, but I love humans. I'm not praying for the fall of man. I don't want to see humanity suffer or fall. Like, I'd like to see us coexist with the natural world that we live with, and maybe even space. Definitely space, but that's a different subject. If you need a pick-me-up, Whatever It Takes, listen to that song. Especially if you have any semblance of being an adrenaline junkie, even if you're not super serious about it. But if you just love the way adrenaline feels when it's coursing through your veins, if you love getting up and going for a run, even just a few times a year, when it's really cold. Whatever it takes. Did you know that at one point, your beloved host Mars wanted to join the military and is still thinking about it, even now? And I know I'm definitely not going to. If I ever join the military, especially before the age cutoff, something went horribly wrong in my life. Like, horribly, tremendously wrong. And I'm pretty sure, if I know myself, I'm not going to let that happen. But yeah, I used to want to join the military, and there's a few reasons for that, actually. I used to be a countryman. A person who believed in patriotism to the point where I would defend the flag and America. And I can't really do that anymore because I don't necessarily believe in institutions anymore. I believe in people over institutions, people over politics, people. We can, I don't really need to get into or explain why I don't believe in institutions or of the like, because just look around. Just look around. In Whatever It Takes, one of the things that Imagine Dragons talks about, there's a line in there that says, build me up and break me down. That's why I wanted to join the military, actually. One of the reasons, besides being able to travel, education, getting the F away from my family, which, and, yeah. I wanted to join the military because you know how it goes. It's definitely not quite the same way that I think it went in my head, or it was at one point, but I wanted to be built down, or broken down and built back up again, because trauma in my early childhood and growing up way too fast and all of the other stuff, like, had already broken me down and built me up in ways, but like I wanted to do it with the awareness that I had already been broken down. And I thought the military would give me that. Maybe it would have given me some kind of experience, that's for sure, but I think I could do it in other ways. Which leads me to another point in today's psychology and sociology and also just mental health episode. Do the scary thing. As I said before, just do it. We often seek comfort, and comfort's good. Comfort is nice, like warm, soft, cozy comfort. But comfort also creates complacency. And when we already have problems that we haven't addressed, mental health issues, traumas, pains, breaks, baggage that we haven't addressed or unpacked yet, and we all have it. Don't tell me you don't. You ain't Jesus. But when you become complacent, that's when problems fester. And I'm not saying don't seek comfort. Comfort's good. We should be seeking comfort. It's a balance. But we should also be seeking the uncomfortable. If there's something you want to do and it makes you uncomfortable and it's not going to kill you, do it. I know it's uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable. This right here, right now, this microphone on my face, this camera that I'm staring at, uncomfortable. When I hit record on a TikTok, uncomfortable. When I hit post, uncomfortable. When I go to reply to a comment or want to reply to a comment that bothers me, or I have something I want to say, or I have something I want to contribute, uncomfortable as all heck. Do the uncomfortable thing. Step out of your zone minimally at first, and then try to take larger steps. But small ones first. You gotta crawl first, and then you gotta kind of stumble around, and then you walk, and then maybe you jog, and then you run, and then you fly. So crawl if you have to. Minecraft? What you doing? Minecraft is on in the background, which, by the way, sorry about the lack of audio on the Minecraft Mondays. I think it might be an audio driver problem in my laptop and not the capture card, which it could also be the capture card. But let's just say that while it was connected to Bluetooth the other day... What the fuck? Is there a chicken in my boat? Oh my god, there's a chicken in my boat. Chicken duck! Chicken jockey. But, where was I? I had a point and then I got distracted by chicken jockey boat. Nope, it's gone. It's gone and lost to the void, the ether, the forever. Okay, yep, that's gone. Whatever I was talking about, gone. Chicken boat distracted me, blue tongue distracted me, kitties that are really cute and one's about to fall off the cat tower distracted me. The fact that it's gorgeous outside and I want to be anywhere but inside right now distracted me. Whatever that I was just talking about, lost to the ether, gone, forever, never to be found again, most likely. I hate when I do that. It is rare when I do it like that to that degree and I don't even have a semblance of getting that thought back, but no, that's gone. That is gone. You know what, Minecraft? Go to hell. Bad craft. Not a capture taken. Bad craft. Come back. Come back, thought. Do the uncomfortable thing. Come back, thought. Something about roller coasters. Come back, thought. Social media is strange and being human is weird and used to want to be in the military and having a TBI is a problem and weather September and poetry work through and before the show. That's right, by the way, I created a before the show of this show, and it will be released, as I've said before in other episodes, a year from now. Which I actually have been thinking about. Can I schedule posts a year from now? Or is it like a 3-month out to 6-month out? Or does it depend? I'm gonna do something later. I'm gonna do it. I have hold on, how many do I have? How many before the shows do I have? Also, my stomach is growling, so that is another thing distracting the ever-living crap out of me. Put that in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 59, 60, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. I didn't do one before 68. I did do one for today, which would be 69. Unless I did do one for... No, I'm not going to bother looking for that. If I did, it's lost to the... It's gone. Speaking of, actually, being lost to the ether, there's the final thing I wanted to work on today while here. And to speak on the TBI thing, I get really cold sometimes really fast. And something that I have to have with me sometimes when I'm just at home is a blanket or something comfortable. This is also one part an autism or sensory issue thing with brain neurospiciness. But I also have to find a way to be careful when it comes to showering and stuff like that, because sometimes texture of shower is painful. Not painful, but uncomfortable. You know how you get sometimes a pins and needles problem? Well, sometimes, no matter the setting you use on a shower, is like that for me. Except it's not painful as it is uncomfortable, because it's not registering as pain, but under the right circumstances, it probably could. Brains are fun. If you're wondering why my tongue is blue, I am trying a new supplement thing that I've done minimal research on, and I needed to do more physical research on, and we will see. We will see. So, the poetry thing that I wanted to work on is actually, yes, you guessed it. You guessed it. Congratulations. It is a unsealed contest entry. Write a letter or poem to the chapter you are closing. Seems pretty simple, right? It's not. This one's due... When are you due? Oh, that's scary. People who advance to round 2 will have an opportunity to be a guest on our Roku channel. Scary. Deadline, October 1st. And the problem I have is the first problem is I have several chapters in a way I'm closing. And I've taken notes on those, but my notes are missing. And I have something I'm working on. I worked on it for 20 minutes yesterday or so. And I think the working title is To What End? And up here in green I made a note, Tired of Healing, which is kind of why I brought up the song today, because that's been a reoccurring theme for the last 6 to 18 months. So, yeah. This is definitely in its early stages. I know I said this last time, and this one might actually, I'm mostly confident that I'm probably gonna have to re-edit it, but, to what end? And so the story goes, or at least that's what I'm told. Every ending is happy. So why did my dad die? Why do we have to say goodbye? Life is filled with hellos and goodbyes. My favorite doctor told me that. And silly girl, wouldn't we know it? We forgot the plural. Life is filled with goodbyes. Sometimes we say hello again, and that's okay, but let's not pretend we always know why. Love is a master of disguise. No matter the tides that change me, I mean what I say when we are swept away in the current. I meant what I say. I meant it when I say. Decisions don't come without remorse. I have stood many tests of time, of course. 27 makes me weary. We're going to do this the rest of our lives. That might be good news. I've met Grimm once or twice. In life or death, I accept it all, what comes my way. And in here I have a note that says, strong beginning, what the fuck middle/ending? Strong beginning, WTF middle/ending. How I wanted to frame this was in 3 different acts, because, like, I want this to be a letter and a poem. I want it to be a free verse styled, like, prose in a way. And, because I have multiple chapters I'm closing. Like, I just turned 27. There's some relationships I need to clean up. There are just so many things I'm closing, and it's leaving me with trepidation. It's leaving me with excitement. And I want to be able to reflect the human condition through my story, because this is a lot to process. Well, thank you for joining us today, humans of Earth. That was today's final subject, working through poetry and hoping that maybe it inspires you to work through poetry or writing yourself, even if it's not for career purposes, but creative because, you know, you're human and creation is really good for you. Keep going, humans of Earth. Don't stop. Pave the light way in the dark, or something like that. And try to enjoy the weather. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, following, supporting, or doing whatever you do. But mostly, thank you for existing. I hope you have a wonderful week. You truly deserve it. And I will see you next time for episode 70 of the Digital Quill Podcast. Bye for now.